Scene 1. Innocence, age 8 to 10. They say you don't remember much from childhood, but I remember her, perfectly. It was the first day of third grade when she walked into class. Zoya, the girl with the loose braid, a book in her hand, and eyes full of wonder. She wasn't loud or flashy, just calm, like a warm breeze before the storm. She sat next to me. We became friends in a way only children can, sharing pencils, snacks, and silly secrets. I would race to school just to sit beside her. I didn't know what love was, but even at 8, I knew being around her made everything feel lighter. Sometimes love doesn't arrive with fireworks. It arrives with a soft hi on a school bench. Scene 2. Growing Pains, age 14 to 17. Time moved. We moved with it. Teenage years came in like a storm. New friends, new fears, new dreams. But Zoya and I remained us. She loved poetry. I loved her laughter. She would read to me, and I would pretend to listen to the words. But I only heard her voice. At 16, I knew. I was in love with my best friend. But I also knew. She didn't see me that way. Not yet. She spoke about crushes, about the boy from the senior year, and I just nodded, hiding 1,000 unspoken feelings behind my smile. That's the thing about silent love. It hurts, quietly, every day. Scene 3. The Departure, age 18 to 23. College took us to different cities. She got into Delhi University. I stayed back for my engineering degree. Our daily chats became weekly calls, then monthly, then silence. But I never forgot her. Every time I visited home, I'd take the long route just to pass by her house, hoping maybe I'd catch a glimpse, hoping maybe she'd be waiting too. She wasn't. She had moved on. New life, new friends, someone else. Maybe. And I smiled through it all, pretending I had moved on too. But some people don't leave you. They just live quietly inside you. Scene 4. The Unexpected Reunion, age 25. It was raining, a soft, nostalgic kind of rain. I was in Delhi for work, sheltering in a bookstore when I saw her. Zoya, same eyes, same calm, a little older, a little stronger, but still her. She saw me. Her eyes lit up in that familiar way, and for the first time in years, I felt home. We talked, for hours, about everything and nothing. She told me she was working at a publishing house. She smiled as she spoke about life, but there was a sadness behind it, a pause in her sentences, a crack in her voice. Maybe she had been hurting too. When we parted, she said, "I didn't know how much I missed you until today." Scene 5. Falling Again, age 25 to 27. After that day, we met often, sometimes for coffee, sometimes just to sit in silence. We didn't rush. We didn't label anything. But something had changed. She laughed more now, especially when I was around. And I started believing again. One evening we sat on a rooftop. The city lights blinked below us like distant stars. She looked at me and whispered, "You were always there, weren't you?" I nodded. Then she leaned her head on my shoulder. And in that moment, I didn't need words. Because finally, I wasn't loving her in silence. Scene 6. The Proposal, age 28. I didn't go down on one knee. I didn't bring roses or rings. Instead, I brought her to the old school bench, where it all began. I held her hand and said, "We've taken different paths, walked through different storms, but somehow we're here, still side by side. Will you walk with me, not just today, but for the rest of our lives?" She didn't cry. She just smiled and said, "I already have." Scene 7. Life Together, age 29 to 45. Marriage wasn't perfect, we argued, over dishes, over dreams, over lost weekends, but we also laughed, danced, stayed up talking about constellations and childhood fears. When our daughter was born, Zoya cried. I held them both, and knew in that moment love had grown a new heart. Some days were ordinary, some magical, but every night ended the same way, with her head on my chest and my arms wrapped around my forever. Being each other's Humsafar wasn't just poetic, it was real, messy, honest, beautiful. Scene 8. Now, age 60 plus. The porch is quiet now,